back inside Moody Coliseum on the campus of Abilene Christian University. A great look there, and welcome inside to the third floor broadcast studio. Roman Raffaeli joined by Jaden West. Jaden, Wildcats trailing at half despite two key 9-0 runs. What did you see from Cal Baptist in that first half?
Yeah, you said Abilene Christian came out really hot, but California Baptist is doing a phenomenal job of shooting the ball. They're 9 for 16 from three there in that first half. So much different of a Lancers offense than we saw in Riverside, California just a couple of weeks ago when these two teams met. They're playing a lot more aggressive on defense, forcing some turnovers. ACU is going to have to shoot the ball better down the stretch. But right now, CBU doing a good job handling the basketball and putting it through the rim.
Absolutely, and Chloe Lemon had a huge first half there before getting into foul trouble. That's big for the Wildcats especially, but we heard Julie Goodenough mention it with Melania downstairs. They've got to communicate better defensively. What do you see from the Wildcats that they need to work on in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Goodenough said it earlier this week, leading up to this game. The game plan was to not let their shooters get open. They shoot the ball well. They have all year long, especially Chloe Lemon, along with their other guards. They have good guard play all the way around the perimeter, and they kind of go to that 4-out with the one post inside. I think a big key for Julie Goodenough's squad is going to be getting Meredith Mays going. She had a great game a couple weeks ago against CBU. They need to pound the ball inside and really rely on that inside presence to attack their posts that aren't as good as their guards.
Absolutely, and you mentioned their great shooting. 56% from three in that first half. Remarkable shooting there. And the Wildcats, they're playing well. They're just not to the standard that Cal Baptist is playing.
Yeah, I mean, there's a look at the stats there. Abilene Christian winning that rebound battle. 9 of those are offensive rebounds, which is phenomenal for ACU. They just need to turn those into points. Bella Earl doing a great job with a double-double in that first half. But as a team, ACU just not shooting it as quality as maybe they would like. The numbers look okay, but for the amount of offensive possessions they're getting, especially off of those offensive rebounds, they're not turning them into points often enough.
For sure, and Aaron Woodson with a really great 11 points, been a key force since Peyton Hull went down with the injury, as well as Mia Rivers. Just much more of a team effort from Julie Goodenough's squad, and they had a great first half, had a huge start to the half, coming out in a full court press, forcing a couple turnovers, and getting key points off those to get a big start, but then gave it up at the beginning of that second quarter. They're just going to need to play a full second half.
Yeah, Coach Goodenough, she's going to make some great halftime adjustments in the locker room with her girls. Obviously, look, losing Mia Rivers, losing Peyton Hull, and not having them for these last few games has hurt them, both offensively and defensively, but especially with that guard play. But Aaron Woodson, as you mentioned, has really stepped up. I think girls like Natalia Chavez, players like her, coming off the bench is going to be huge. I mean, Cal Baptist, 13 bench points so far. They're getting a lot of production off their key reserves. ACU is going to have to make that happen. Aaron Woodson doing a good job there in that 3-guard spot, but they can't just rely on Bella Earl. I mean, she has 10 points, 10 rebounds. That's great, but you got to share the ball around, and it's got to be a team effort, as Coach Goodenough mentioned in that interview. Right,
they're going to need some more significant contributors in this game. You mentioned Meredith Mays needs to keep going. Had 24 in 27 minutes against Cal Baptist the last time they played, and it's been a very, very weak squad lately. They've lost a couple key players, and they just rely on more people, and they've got a young team, a couple freshmen that need to be bigger for them, but just nothing they can do about the injury bug.
Yeah, and you kind of saw it in that first half. It was a really streaky game. Abilene Christian, they jump out to a really big lead, and then Cal Baptist kind of cut it down, then ACU jumped out again, then now CBU's gone on this big run and taking this lead. It's down to 7 points. ACU is just stretched thin, and CBU's starting to get healthy, and they're trending upwards right now. But the Wildcats, they'll be bouncing back in that second half.
Right, two master coaches been in the league for a long time, and just seeing who can respond better back and forth here, and we're set up for a great second half. That'll do it for us at the desk. Thanks, Andy. Jaden, there's just something about California Baptist and Abilene Christian having high-scoring, late-game affairs. What'd you see in that second half?
Yeah, you know what? It was kind of similar to that first half in the way that it was very streaky. Both teams going on big runs. At the end of the day, Abilene Christian just had a hard time finding the bucket and finding that ball, putting points on the board at the end. They hadn't scored in the last 3.5 minutes prior to that Meredith Mays bucket with 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter. But all in all, it was a great game. A lot of offense, a lot of points, but CBU just got the better of the Wildcats today.
For sure, and Chloe Lemon with 29, had a huge season so far, and then a great game here tonight, helping her team to success. And It's unfortunate for the Wildcats that Aaron Woodson's success tonight is kind of overshone by that, because 23 points for her is very impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Wildcats have been looking for someone to step up in Peyton Hull's absence, in Mia Rivers' absence, and Aaron Woodson did just that today. I mean, 6-3. She went 6 from 10 from beyond the arc. A great performance by Woodson tonight, and exactly what the Wildcats need, but it just wasn't quite enough for ACU to come out on top.
Right, and taking a look at the stats here, 56% from three for California Baptist is an incredible night. You would love to shoot 56%, because even 34% for the Wildcats is a good night. You want to make one out of three. And, rebounds there pretty even. Turnovers, the Wildcats win the turnover differential by 7 and still lose tonight. Just a tough night for the Wildcats here. And Jaden, where do they go from here?
Hey, you know what? One thing I want to talk about real quick, 2 stats that you don't see on that screen, bench points and points in the paint. We really thought Meredith Mays was going to have a huge impact, especially in the second half. That was one of my takeaways at halftime. But both teams each had 30 points in the paint. Did not expect CBU to pound it inside as much. And ACU just 2 points off the bench as opposed to the Lancers 20. They just got so much more production. I think for the Wildcats, it's going to be tough. I mean, Peyton Hull, Mia Rivers still out probably for a few more games, dealing with that injury. The guard play has just got to get better. You got to limit the turnovers. We've kind of been saying that all season for Abilene Christian, and Coach Goodenough knows that. They got to play together as a team, and it can't all be on Bella Earl's shoulders. We saw Aaron Woodson step up, but Natalia Chavez, Brianna Davis, they have to take care of the ball and shoot at a much more effective rate going down the stretch of this conference season.
That's right, and that'll do it for us here. Jaden West, Roman Raffaeli. This has been the ACU TV postgame show. Andy, take it away.